Yo, it's a Stupidly Small Podcast, Monday, 24th of August 2015. I'm Stuart James Farrell and you are?
Lauren Jean Clark, how are you?
All right, how are you? Good to be back.
Very, very good to be back. Lovely weekend.
I was
For
going
those
to say, yeah.
who are not partaking in time shift radio at the same time or space
TSR.
as we are,
Yeah.
let it be known that today's show possibly benefits from the zing and sparkle of a weekend which really kind of promised spring, didn't
They
it?
promised spring. I wonder if people can hear my suntan. I mean, really, we were out. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was just
It
stunzo,
was so
wasn't
nice.
it?
Anyway, it's good that
Good frisbee weather. I can't believe I didn't make you throw frisbee with me.
I was working
Yeah,
a lot.
still.
And
So was I. Stuart Farrell,
Right.
did you do anything worthy of reportage?
I discovered a new restaurant that I went to that was nice.
Are you and your little resty ronts?
Yeah.
And do you want to boast about it? Or?
No, well, actually, it was lovely because some friends took us out for dinner.
Yeah.
So they shouted,
Yeah.
which was very nice.
Yeah.
Which involved scallops and
That is nice.
steaks and
God.
terrines
I like
and
those friends.
various wines and pudding.
Oh,
And I ran into the guy who owned the restaurant. I only found out a couple of hours before we attended it that he'd just taken it over, and I actually sort of knew him.
ah,
So that was nice. I saw him and he came out from the kitchen. He's only had the business for 5 weeks. And we had a long
what
chat.
an exciting. This is all ticking all your boxes.
Well, it's pretty boring, really, but it was great. It was
Do you know what I did? I actually
Okay.
caught up with somebody who I haven't seen for, I wonder how long she'd know. 3 years, maybe.
reunion. Yeah, it was one of those
Something
weekends,
like
in fact.
that.
I saw about 3 or 4 different people that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think I did too, actually.
Because winter is
people are out
broken.
and about.
Yeah.
I know, it's
they
so
get
good.
out of the cave,
Oh my
like the
God.
bear.
So true.
Yeah.
We're all bears.
But did cavemen... No, I was going to ask you,
No.
did cavemen live in caves?
Were you really?
And as I said...
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. It's officially worth getting out of bed now.
It's the same as
because
we're in the Peruvian mountains.
what are you talking about? Did cavemen live in caves?
I know.
Okay.
Because I was going to the bear and I go, I wonder if cavemen...
It's pretty cute.
Stupid.
Does
Does it make you stupid if you know that you're stupid?
It's less stupid of you.
Right.
To have self-awareness, for sure. That's why I always think it would be kind of relaxing to be a fundamentally really moronic human being.
It'd be fantastic
Yeah.
to not have a clue.
Just not know or think anything about
Anything.
Just
And not worry.
No self-reflexivity at all.
None. It'd be the best.
It would be the best.
You'd be like 99% of the population.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's sounding very snobby too.
that's
So
not true.
Is it good to be aware that you're being a snob?
Any version of self-awareness is kind of useful.
But
I
stupid,
think.
it can get you down, but it's at least if you know it. But then you become self-deprecating to a point where people get annoyed. I know someone that's short.
Oh my God, you've told me this. You've
Yeah.
told everybody this
Have I?
on this podcast 3 or 4 times now.
Because I can't stop thinking about it.
Because he's
And he keeps
short,
referring to
and he
the-
keeps
like-
referring to himself as short,
Before-
and it
he
means
didn't
that
say
you
hello.
think of him as that short guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never thought he was short till
Well,
he
no,
kept
that's the
telling me
thing,
how
that's
short
why
he
you
was.
project. That's why there are all those tricks, like, in a meeting, you should always ask lots of questions or say something like, yeah, I'm interested in further examining this. If maybe we could talk about it afterwards or something. There are all these things that you can do that are kind of tricks to convince everybody else in the meeting that you're the smartest dude in the whole town, in the whole meeting
I
town.
need these tricks.
But that's them. Like, they're so fun. They really demonstrate how kind of like gullible socially human beings are. You know, there's a thing called social engineering, and that social engineering basically, is like making somebody else like believe something, or bringing the horse to the water, basically. And then the next natural step is for them to drink. So, but it's used a lot in scamming. So things like...
That's cocaine in the soap.
Huh?
Oh, you don't have television. You hear about the 91-year-old man?
Oh,
that
yeah.
for some reason thought it was okay to accept 25 kilos of soap to take back from India.
Totally. Do you know what? They believe, want to believe. People are so desperate to belong that they want to believe so many things about how they're part of a group or they've been included in this or somebody in online is in love with them and wants them to pay for them to come out from another country, and then suddenly they don't,
Does it boil down to not being self-aware and not being engaged with the world? Because if anyone, so many people still fall for these obvious scams.
Yeah.
So is that payoff for not participating in society with a curious eye and an interest in what happens?
No, I don't really think so, because I think there are some people. So I've told this story before, I'm sure, on this podcast at some point. But we, in my law talking job, one of the things we used to do was do kind of community education stuff in like different areas in Victoria, right? And we went to this one area and we did scams for elderly people. And we got all of these elderly people along from the local Probus group and the local CWA. We didn't scam them. But mind you, they were all amazing, like offering to cook cakes for the catering and stuff.
Right.
Anyway, they all turned up.
Yeah.
They all turned up. And we were talking and the session went on and I was thinking, I wonder how many of these people, this really affects. And at the end, they said, put your hand up if you've ever been scammed. People, most of the room.
What do they call scamming though? Paying, 25 cents more for a potato?
No.
Right.
No. We're talking hundreds and thousands of dollars for things like cruises that didn't exist.
Uh-huh.
Like, you'd be surprised. It happens a lot, right? All of these people, nearly all of them, put their hands up. Or have you known somebody? And all the other hands went up. Was my wife, whatever.
Ex-wife.
Leave your hand up if you've been scammed more than once. People left their hands up. Leave your hand up if you've been scammed. It got to the point of leave your hand up if you have been scammed more than 5 times. And there were a couple of dudes, old men, with their hands up. And they said, now, see, that demonstrates that what you are not doing is listening to the broader message here, which is that if there's somebody nice on the phone who's being really lovely and they're saying that you need to hand them some money, you need to put down the phone and think about it later and look into the legitimacy of it. But that actually what it is it's the social side of things. There's somebody really nice on the phone. Nobody rings them anymore. They don't hear from their families. This is increasingly, if you talk to people who work in old people's homes, they say there are people there who have just never been visited by family members.
Right.
They reckon it's a generational thing. Like the kids they're off. They're not involved, right?
Yeah.
Somebody nice rings on the phone, develops a bit of a relationship, doesn't push too hard, rings again, bang, there it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They establish the trust. So I don't think...
So that's how I do it.
I wondered why your eyes were glazing over in that particular winsome way that you have. No, but so my point is that I don't think you can blame the people, because I think it is just human nature, but it is every time it is demonstrated to me in that social engineering type way, I think, God, we're simple creatures, aren't we? I mean, it's no wonder politicians get away with what they get away with.
What? That's a different argument altogether. Surely. I mean, or are you saying that politicians are just a whole crew of con men and women?
Yes.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's a good conclusion.
It's a great political argument.
Look, I was a sophisticated political analyst, if ever you've met
right,
one,
Laurie.
Stu Farrell.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stu.
Yep.
I discovered something the other day that I thought might annoy you and gratify me in equal measure, and it was in my phone. Okay. So here we go for what's in your phone.
That is annoying, you're right.
Yep, thought I'd just try it on again one more time, see if I got noticed. So the...
By him, Molly Meldrum.
No, by you over there with you getting distracted doing other things. Listen, the driving force behind changes in language are disruptors, right? People who can who change existing words and invent new ones.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Change existing words and invent new ones, like hilaire.
Hilaire.
Right.
Right? And it turns out the most active language disruptors are and have been throughout history the same demographic. Can you guess what that demographic might be?
women 35 to 45. White and
young women. Teenage girls, actually. Teenage girls.
Because they can't speak proper English.
No, don't you do this? Don't you do what what society does to teenage girls all the time? Mocketh ye not, my friend.
Game
because
changer.
we have... That's it, game changer. Everyone's going to be saying mocketh now.
Mocketh me not.
That young women, from replacing ye with you to creating words like selfie, with the rest of the population catching up a generation or so later.
I would argue that
revolutionary
African American males and females to a degree would have to have had the biggest influence on bending language in the last 20 years. Sure lie.
English language. Apparently you're wrong, according to this article. But sure,
where's the article?
Develop
TV Week.
the theory.
Well done.
No.
Written by Ozzy Ostrich.
Linguists are doing all this work. And there's an article on something called Quartz. This is all reported in a thing with a name that you'll hate, called A Mighty Girl, which is
I hate that.
I don't know, because it uses the word mighty. I kind of hate it too. I don't know. It's not. I don't hate it. It's just like, it's a slightly, what's the word? What's her name? Enid Blyton-esque way of describing. Don't you think somebody being mighty? My New Zealand grandfather, who was more British than British, used to say, "Oh, that's mighty."
That's good.
It sounded so Enid Blyton-esque. So there's something about the concept of mighty that throws me slightly. But anyway, that is then in fact there's a big list on the Mighty Girl Facebook page of things that reference this. And the fact that it is incontrovertible truth, and Stuart Farrell can't argue with it. So there you go.
Oh, well, 100 linguists can't be wrong.
As they say in the underground.
That's right, in the hip-hop scene. Well, it's been a stupid Monday.
It's been incredibly stupid. We had things we wanted to talk about. We didn't get to.
We didn't go anywhere near it. And we are, and again, I'm sorry, and I'll say it this time, next few mornings are going to be a bit short again.
That's why we're not doing...
why we're early.
That's the only reason we're not doing sponsors too, isn't it, Stu?
Tell me about it. Yes, I have been on the blower and, the internet telephone.
Yeah.
And...
What was that?
That's all right. That was me displaying.
Wow. If anybody heard that, it did sound remarkably flatulescent, but it was not.
No, it was Elbow on Wood.
Elbow on Wood. Yeah.
Great album.
The classic.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to find us, we're stupidlybig.com. You can contact us on the website, on Twitter, on Facebook. You can leave us a voicemail. We love you guys leaving voicemails. You're the best. And you can also give us a rating or a review on iTunes, which is a phenomenal boon for us.
What a boon.
And P.O. Box 1436 Fitzroy North 3068
I don't like boon.
Will get Stuart Farrell to the mailbox at some point before Christmas.
Oh, tomorrow, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, nice Tuesday morning jaunt to the phone box, mailbox. That's probably
the internet phone box?
Yeah. Lauren Clark, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Faz. Bye-bye.